I hope that Xbox is finally out of the video game industry. I want to take a step back before I elaborate on that statement. I've been an Xbox fan since the beginning. I am old enough to have remembered walking in to, God, it was either like Family Video or Blockbuster, and seeing Halo there, and then telling my dad, hey, this is on Xbox, it's supposed to be really cool. And he'd be like, screw it, let's get an Xbox then. And then I got one for that Christmas, and I fell in love. It was the alternative. I mean, I still love Nintendo, but it was the American device in America. And I would go to my cousins, who was my favorite human being when I was a kid, and stay there for a couple weeks at a time, and we'd just play Halo over and over again. He was so like into Halo, and he would teach me all the interesting things, and he was like super into like not telling me about the flood, and we got there like being like, oh, this is crazy, what are we gonna do? And just fantastic memories. I even bought NFL Fever, which was the Madden alternative, because they didn't have the licensing to it yet. It's actually a really good game. It was probably like gameplay wise, and like how you could play with a co-op, and when you would throw it to the person who could play receiver, running back, how it would adjust to the throws and things like that and routes. Honestly, it was fundamentally a better game, and I mean, so was 2K at that point whenever it came out. But I mean, it gave us a lot. I mean, all the Halos that Bungie did were great. I'm blanking on like other things. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning right now for me, but it was beautiful, and I got everything. I got the 360, and had two red rings. One they replaced, the other they made me fucking pay for, which sucked. It was bullshit. Like, make a product that doesn't blow. I worked as a office manager for an insurance agent, and my bonus for helping sell enough life insurance policies, it was like $600. So I got an Xbox Elite that time, and for a 360 Elite, the like all black one and all that, and still fucking died a couple years later. So I got the Xbox One and played a shit ton of Titanfall and all the alternatives to that. And even though, that was kind of super expensive, I got a Series X within the first 3 months, and there's still really no games for it. I've been waiting for State of Decay 3 since it came out. Halo Infinite was not a great game. Story was solid. The gameplay blows. 343 does not know how to pace or put feeling into a Halo game. I think 5 was maybe alright, but still the enemy sucked and the story was dumb. Like, Jesus Christ, it feels like they don't know what they're doing. They try to take the cheese out of it while still like having the cheesy pace. It just whatever. But I still bought it. Right? I'm still here. That was the one I got. I got that over the PS5. One of the big reasons is Game Pass, and Game Pass at that point was not expensive, and there are ethical questions, I think, with it, especially with how they pay indie creators, but there's no ethical consumption under capitalism, kids, so you kind of have to pick your battles, and one of those was the Game Pass. I have 3 kids, and games now are, even then, they're expensive, $60, $65 to pop up. It gets expensive, and they're all more, 2 of the 3 are more on the Nintendo side of the games anyway. So Xbox Game Pass allowed us to dip in and also find some decent indie titles that we usually end up buying because they're never super expensive, and I try to be a good person in that way, at least, of supporting indie creators. And it's been a great alternative. It's my son fell in love with Psychonauts 2 because of Game Pass. We were able to play it. Frog Detective. There's so many games. The spider game where you have guns. I can't remember what it's called, Spider Hack, maybe. And there's definitely way more. There's one where you're like two kids on an island solving puzzles, and there's like lamps that's like strangely haunting and beautiful, and I'm blanking on the name of it. It's really, really good. But yeah, that Wavetail was also something we were able to access, I believe. And that's been beautiful. And then we, like I said, those games are between $5 and $20 typically, and we'll grab them because you want to support that indie artist. They also want to own them forever. And you know, it has helped financially because we're being price led at gaming. Nintendo's charging insane prices for game. The industry wants to have every game be at least $80, $90 to $100, and you got CEOs of some game publishers being like, well, fucking make your own game, or if you really love us, you'll pay for it. Now, fucking Mario Kart was not an $80, $90 game. At best, that was $60. Like, that game is, I would argue, one of the most soulless Nintendo properties I've ever purchased in my life. There's nothing about it feels like Nintendo. Like, and the menus are weird. It doesn't feel fun. It doesn't feel like a Mario Party. It feels like a tech demo almost, and not a great one at that. Donkey Kong Bonanza was different. That was actually a game. That was nice. Still, shouldn't be what it is. And the DLC. Well, I'll talk about Nintendo. Or Joel. Go check out Joel's video on the last Nintendo Direct, and he covered a lot of this Nintendo bitching. I'm talking about Xbox and bitching about them. The recent news is Game Pass is going up to at least $30 a month if you want basically any of the services. And like, yeah, you'll get cloud gaming, you get all these access day one games. I think they're adding Fortnite Crew Pass to it, and all that. But the only reason those things are being added is because they have to justify the insane fucking price that you're doing. And that's after you've reached the price of 4 or 5-year-old tech in terms of the Series X and the S being out there. Because one, like, yeah, you can blame Trump's tariffs and they're stupid, but it's also greed. You purchase Activision and then for billions laid people off. You have money. You guys make, I believe, they make billions of dollars. Microsoft might be in the trillions. I can't remember. Unfathomable amount of money. But yet, we are going to be milked forcefully for every single cent we have. It feels like from every industry. Whether it's auto, health in America. The government's trying to make healthcare cost even more. Groceries are expensive. Education's insane. We're being priced out of entertainment. It's been happening in like the theme park realm where it's and now it's happening in the one things that we were willing to spend the money on because we could own it and have it at home. Can't do it. It's hard. It's expensive to see a movie. It is $75 a pop if I take just me and my kids to a movie. And that's getting sharing drinks and sharing a popcorn and tickets. It's entertainment is absolutely insane. They just it's a microcosm of a bigger issue. But let's get back to the Game Pass. When they announced this, the page to cancel your Game Pass was crashed. There's so many people who are doing it. I don't blame them. I have waved the flag of Xbox. I have bought the merchandise that just said shirts that just say Xbox on them. Got my kids some. I was so proud. It was our thing. It felt, I know it's a giant freaking corporation. It was dumb. I was a kid, but it felt punk rock. It felt like, yeah, Nintendo, PlayStation's been around forever, but here we are. We're giving it our shot. We are different. This big ass controller. It's green. It's loud, and it catches on fire. The original did. But I'm taking down my Xbox flag. I'm folding it up, and I might have to give it a tasteful burial or burn it or something, metaphorically speaking, because I can't be an Xbox stand anymore. That part is done. And even if they came back and said, yep, oh, we screwed up, we're going to go back down to normal pricing, it's there. It's unsavory. Like, there used to be a subtlety to capitalism and corporate greed, where it made it a little bit easier to digest or ignore things, and it's getting harder. Xbox has not wanted to be their own thing. I mean, I don't mind that their games are going to be on PlayStation. I really don't. Not huge in exclusives anyway, I think, because it's so hard to afford these systems. The more we can make things available to everyone, I'm into, because that's life and that's how it should be. But I don't know. I've seen the country I love become something awful in the last 8-10 years, whatever it's been. I've watched brands that, I know it sounds dumb, but I've woven into my identity, just make it impossible to support. See comedians that I thought were, for helping give a voice to people, Bill Burr, bow down to fascist, straight up murderous regimes, Bill Burr, and try to justify it for a bag. My heart is broken. Because, like I said, maybe it's the nostalgia or what the memories of Xbox has given me. Because from those times of looking up to my older cousin and like making me feel like I was cool. Because I was a weird kid, autistic, and he was one of the first people that I didn't think treated me different. So that meant a lot. And then all the years I played, well, mostly like Nintendo and PlayStation with my dad, but we played a lot of Madden on Xbox when it finally got on there, and spending time with him, and then college and having all those bonds with friends and with my kids over the years, stinks. It sucks. I think they've lost it, and for what, a little bit extra money, maybe, to try to put the price standards in an industry that isn't sustainable, especially when, again, in this country at least, we don't have money to spend on things. For us, in the United States, the restaurant industry has been suffering tremendously, and they're trying to figure out why. It's because nobody's got any money. And so everyone wants to get more money, so I'm not a business person by any sense, but there is a finite amount of resources, right? There is a finite amount of money that exists. We don't make enough. Our energy, and again, in the United States, energy bills are doubling, tripling for each season. When it's going to be really hot, it goes up, and then it goes up again in the winter because we're being squeezed and there's no regulation anymore. Groceries are insane price-wise. It's hard to eat. Health insurance, we pay tons of it, and we still have to pay more when we go to the doctor. Not affordable. And now games are going to be $100 a pop and probably suck, while still have to pay for online service, and the tech itself being almost $800 for something that's old and potentially replaced in a few years. I hate it. I hate it here. This sucks. But they can't take the memories from us. Let's remember that. They can't take away what gaming, the stories that they've told and how they've told them, and the bonds that have been created over the years through all this. I hope that something breaks through that makes gaming feel less gross in the near future. Because between PlayStation and Xbox price hikes and Nintendo / Pokemon not taking legal action for ICE using the Pokemon theme song, gaming feels really disgusting and evil. And again, maybe I've been, it probably has always been, and it was easier to ignore. But I want it to feel good again. And I think if anybody's looking for an alternative, buy indies. Silk Song's out. I can't think off the top of my head because I'm tired. But there are so many good indie games. There's all the friend slop games too that are all almost indie creators. Lethal Company, Repo, Peak, Phasmophobia. It's all there, and we can all have fun for a much more reasonable price. Let's hope it changes.